guys, my name's Eric, and today I'm going to do a little video showing you how to make your very own smoked pork loin. This is a super easy recipe, probably the easiest recipe that I've made a video for, but it doesn't mean it's any less delicious. All you need is a pork loin between 4 to 5 pounds and some real basic ingredients which you probably already have in your spice cabinet. Salt and black pepper, and then some garlic powder and chili powder. Real basic. We're going to put this rub on it. We're going to let it sit out for around a half hour while the smoker's heating up. And then we're just going to cook it at around 200 degrees or so, probably for 3 to 4 hours. And bring the internal temperature to 145, and it's pretty much done. When it's done, you can slice it into sandwiches. Tonight we're going to be serving it with mashed potatoes and gravy and some vegetables. So this is a super easy recipe, so let me show you how to apply the rub now. Okay guys, I've measured out the ingredients here. Like I said, very basic. We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of salt. We're going to start with just 1 tablespoon of pepper. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And last but not least, 2 teaspoons of the chili powder. I'm going to kind of mix this up a little bit. Try to get it evenly coated, mixed together. Now we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil on this. So you just want to rub some olive oil on it, just to kind of give it a little bit of moisture for this rub to adhere to. Now you can see this still has a pretty good piece of fat on it. I'm going to leave it like this because I'm going to cook this with the fat side up in the smoker. It's not going to be really having to deal with intense heat. So as it cooks, that fat's going to kind of melt and render down into the pork to keep it nice and juicy. So now all we do is we just rub this mixture, like any other rub, on the meat. Just like this, real basic. Not rocket science at all. Once you're done rubbing this in, you just want to kind of let it sit while your smoker is warming up. With this recipe, I'm going to use my all-time favorite wood, which is apple, which goes great with pork. And like I said, we're going to cook it probably around 200. You can go as high as 225, depending on, what you can regulate the temperature of your smoker. And we're going to just bring it up to an internal temperature of 145. Which should take anywhere between 2 and 3 hours, depending. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to let this sit here. I'm going to get the smoker fired up, and we'll be back in a second. When I put it on the smoker, you'll see the next step. All right, guys, I have the smoker set at around 190 degrees. It's about as low as I can get it with one of the burners on low and the other burner completely off. It's just starting to put out some apple smoke. I put the pork loin, you want to put it in the center rack. I got the thermometer in there. I got it to go off at 140. I'm going to pull it off anywhere between 140 and 145. It's going to cook for a few minutes. Once you take it out and tent it in foil, let it cook for probably another 20 minutes to a half hour before you slice into it. But that's pretty much it. We're going to stick it in there. And going to check out it probably in around an hour and a half. So we'll check it out and be back in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm just did a temperature check at a couple different places. Right now it's reading at around 130 degrees. We got to bring it up to around 140, maybe 145 at the most. I don't want to overcook it since it's pork. So at around 140, maybe 141, 142, I'll pull it off, tent it with foil, and let it cool. But it's looking absolutely delicious. I'm just going to push that back in, and we'll get it out of there probably in the next 20 minutes to a half hour. Alright guys, right off the smoker, pulled it off at 143. It's nice and hot, smells great. We're just going to tent it with foil. And we're going to let this thing sit for around a half hour. Let all those juices kind of come together. Don't want to slice in it right now, otherwise the juices are going to go like crazy. And we want it to be nice and juicy. So, ooh, it smells wonderful. So we got to be patient, let it sit here. We'll be back in a little bit to slice it. Alright guys, since I have around a half hour to spare, I'm going to try this new microbrewery. Nikasi Brewing Company out of Eugene, Oregon. Always love these microbrews. Dawn of the Red, Indian style red ale. 7% alcohol. So, definitely interested to see how this is going to taste like. I read on the bottle there, it said it's supposed to have tropical notes and hops present while being slightly malty. Oh, it definitely has tropical. Yeah, it tastes like, wow. Like pineapple, a little bit of like mango. Oh, that is good. Very smooth. Alright, well, that's a good one. I'm going to have to try that again. Ninkasi Brewing Company out of Eugene, Oregon. Dawn of the Red. We'll be back in a little bit, slice this open. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy this beer. Alright guys, it's been sitting covered, tented with foil for probably around 40 minutes right now. I can still feel a little bit of warmth coming from it, but I'm going to start slicing into this, checking it out. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. It is juicy. Oh man, oh man. I don't know if you guys can see that. In fact, there's juice dripping from it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let me get me a little slice. Mmm. Absolutely delicious. My goodness. And as you can see, very easy to make. Wow. That rub and adds a perfect flavor without being overpowering. I think the secret is to pull it off in that 141, 42 degree range. Any more than that, you're going to dry out the pork. Oh boy, this is good. Be back a little later to have the rest of the family try it and see what they say. All right, we're going to try this smoked pork loin right now. Kyle, I want you to try a piece.
Okay, this sounds good.
Thank you.
Everyone tell me what you think.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think, Kyle?
So good.
To me, it doesn't really taste that much to bacon for me right now.
No, this
but
isn't
it
bacon. This is bacon's next. This is the pork loin.
Oh, what? Pork loin, whatever it is, guys. At first, whatever my piece has, it just doesn't have the flavor at all.
Okay.
That's
funny.
Good flavor.
He's a regular jokester.
No, I
It's
know
amazing.
reality.
It just tastes plain. It doesn't taste like
This has got
anything.
very good flavor. The seasoning is very simple but not overpowering.
Oh wow, oh wow.
Very
When it has
juicy.
the sauce, it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, here,
Give
try
me
another
that
piece.
piece.
Tell me. Maybe that'll change your mind.
Yeah, the sides have flavor,
Delicious.
the middle doesn't.
Okay, there you go. The
We
sides
love it.
have flavor. You must have got an end piece with the skin.
Mm,
It's very, very tasty. We're going to have it tonight with
very good.
mashed potatoes, vegetables, and gravy. So looking forward to it. Real simple recipe. Glad you guys watched the video. Please subscribe and check out my other videos when you get a chance. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And you can see my channel too.
Okay.
And just